everyone. Mark and Joey here on a Friday morning. Not a normal day for us to be shooting, but we're here with the PGA, the Presidents Cup, happening over in Australia. So really nice. We're getting primetime golf to watch as well. But some exciting golf with the international team taking the lead here. And I will mention that we're going to be doing our podcast here, obviously. But if you want to jump over and see some other stories, there we are on ultimatesportschannel.com. As they are every day, we have postings of all the sports. So you'll be able to see things that we're not talking about today when you go over to the website. So head over there if you would. Also to our Roku fans, we really appreciate you joining us. Ruku's where we started doing the show. We would appreciate if you could to leave us a rating. The more ratings we get, the more people come to the show, and that's fantastic. We really appreciate that. Vimeo.com this week, Joey, over 1 million views in 7 months we've had. So we really appreciate that. And so we're kind of all over the place, and at Patreon.com as well. The show is there, and on Patreon we're setting up subscription, no cost subscription right now, just so you can get hooked up to the show. Make sure you're being informed when all the shows are hitting the airways. So, but today, Joey, PGA Presidents Cup, international team still leading, but an exciting finish last night. So now we got to worry about where's the momentum if you're the international team.
Yeah, definitely an important finish for the Americans. A disappointing one for the internationals, losing 2 out of the 3 matches that went to 18. The third one ending in a half. So big points there to really keep the competition close. It could have been a blowout, honestly. I know that's what the internationals were going for, but for the coverage and for the Americans, it keeps them right in it. They got to have most of the momentum coming in with a big putt from Justin Thomas, and the motion really from Thomas and Woods was very impressive there. And even Patrick Cantlay, who walked in his putt to win his match. So I think 6.5, 3.5 is a good lead for the internationals. It's very important for them to have a lead. But obviously within range for these Americans, 36 holes coming up. The Americans are used to that a lot more than the internationals are. So be interested to see if they can hang in there for 2 matches on the as the internationals will have to do. 2 sets of matches there. And yeah, it's going to be a fun 36 holes Saturday, and then obviously 18 holes on Sunday. But we'll get to that after we see the score. But definitely tomorrow's going to be lots of fun.
Yeah, it's going to come down to singles matches. I don't think anybody will totally dominate today, and it is, as you say, from Ryder Cup, something U.S. teams are used to doing every single year. So it could be a real turnaround day today. But the international teams extended their lead. We talk about momentum on one side. They've got to take in advance for them that they're now still a 3-point lead. Sorry, it was exactly the same as day 1. So they were able to hold on day 2, which is typically not their favorite style of play.
Well, I'm sure, if you told them, obviously, they'd be up by 3 points going into Saturday, they'd be thrilled. I mean, normally they're losing, and they're up by 3 with 36 holes today. But it was kind of the way it ended is the only thing I'm worried about for them. They were hard-fought matches, unfortunately, like 2 great momentum swings for the U.S. making those putts. Now, they did obviously not lose the final match there, ended up in a half. I think that was important. I think if they lost that one, I mean, my God, that'd be very disappointing. I wish they could have won that. He had a big putt. It would have been momentum for the internationals. So that one kind of ended and kind of cooled, I think, everyone off with a good half there at the end. But yes, I mean, Thomas getting rolling with Tiger. I think they'll play again. Tiger might have to play. Tiger might have to play all 36 holes. He is by far playing the best on the American side. He's the best iron player out there right now. Ricky Fowler got it going a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see if he gets put out again. But definitely some swings there. I don't think they're worried as the internationals, but they definitely could have had a much more comfortable lead.
Well, for sure, it looked like that when we were watching the end of it. It looked like that was going to happen. This is kind of a typical American momentum swing. They get it going, and once they get it going, it could be really tough today. Like I say, they get to play 36 holes. Now, the amazing thing is that the young Tiger Woods is leading the... Oh, no, that's years and years ago. What the hell? Can the oldest guy in the field still be the greatest golfer out there? And again, he led his team to another victory. A big comeback. Him and Thomas, what a comeback. What a putt at the end. I'm sure that's motivating the team that Tiger is out there making it happen.
Well, I mean, everyone talks about jet lag, and that's the reason why the Americans are losing, but your 43-year-old golfer has been through 9 different surgeries, is the one with all the energy and the focus and playing amazing right now. I think it's definitely going to inspire them. I think it's going to make him go in the locker room and go hey, let's
guys,
go.
What's going on?
I think they're going to rally around that. I think they're going to rally around the putt. Justin Thomas has played arguably pretty horrible throughout this 2 days so far, and been carried by Tiger Woods. But then all of a sudden he made a huge putt on 16, huge putt on 18.
Yeah.
He had a huge putt on 14. So all of a sudden, Thomas made some putts that probably is going to make him go in tomorrow and go, okay, I got to go in, Tiger. Like, I'm feeling it. I'm going to, like, get the ball striking going here. And, that's very important. So, for the Americans, looking at them specifically, it's coming down to probably Tiger and Thomas might have to go undefeated, right? And then, obviously, these guys got to pick it up. I think DJ has to sit. Kuchar was good, although he forced DJ to three-putt a lot. But DJ has to sit for me on the American side. I think Finau needs to play. And then the other side is Woodland. Even though he got going with Fowler a little bit, I'd play Fowler again. I'd sit Woodland. I think that's okay there too. Reed needs to sit down, and Simpson needs to sit down at some point. They're definitely.
Well, they've got to sit down.
Reed has to. In my mind, I don't play Reed at all tonight or tomorrow in Australia. He sits for me on the American side. So who do you really throw out there? I mean, there's so many good pairings you throw out there. Obviously, Americans have so much talent, but I think that players that definitely need to sit in the first session for me would be Patrick Reed and Dustin Johnson.
Well, Joey, looking at some notes here. Reed is 1-5 his last 6 matches in Presidents Cup. People keep talking about Captain America, whatever. That was Ryder Cup. He's not been good in the Presidents Cup. Simpson's 0-2 in the Presidents Cup here, or 0-2 as a team this week. I think you're exactly right. They've got to move those guys. They've got to get some fresh blood in, or at least mix them up if they don't sit them. I think Reed needs to be sat. I don't know whether it looked like he was kind of over all the issues, but maybe he wasn't over the issues from what happened.
Well, Reed, I think, is the issues. I think it's just, of course, it doesn't really fit his game. With fast greens, he's a drawer of the golf ball. It's hard to hold. He's not comfortable with hitting fades. Now, I know DJ. The problem with DJ is hit the ball amazing, but his putting's just been god awful. I would sit him, but I know with the 4 balls coming up where you each play a ball with a partner, if you give him a partner that can keep the ball in the fairway, maybe put him with Webb Simpson. Webb Simpson can putt, he can hit the fairways, he'll make 18 pars if you want to tell DJ to go nuts and try to make something out of DJ. I'd keep him more than Reed, but Reed definitely has to sit. I don't think he has the game for this course. It's really quick. I think the fans are getting to him. He actually showed emotion by showing the shovel, so they finally got to him a little bit. I think he just needs a break, just a mental break from being in the spotlight. So it'll be interesting. I think Reed will be one of the guys sitting. I don't know who will be the other for the Americans. I imagine it'll be Reed and Woodland sitting for the Americans, at least in the first session. And then you'd see Finau back out there, who played good round 1, actually. So that's interesting on the American side. It'll be funny to see how Tiger rests his body. I saw him stretching a little bit.
Yeah, near the end there. I was a little concerned. That was the back stretch right near the end.
If his body's ready to go, I think he has to play himself. He's just been the best so far.
Yeah,
and then let's get to the international side, I guess.
Well, let's talk about the international side. Obviously, it's going to be tough to figure out who's going to sit, but it's really. They had some great matches. What I want to talk about there is Abraham Answer, who has really been the star.
Right. So this guy will probably play all 5, obviously.
Yeah.
He's been...
Louis David. I mean, you got to keep them both in.
And Adam Scott. Adam Scott, it's hard to sit him right now, too. I mean, he's out hitting this golf course, which is what he has to do because he's not a great putter. But he's even putting pretty well. Keeping the flag in. He's obviously comfortable on these greens from Australia. Played the course a couple times. So those 3 guys, it's going to be hard to tell any of them that they should sit. Especially Adam Scott right now because of his hometown, and he is living up to the bill.
Well, the only thing they need to do with Adam Scott is not interview him. This has got the worst interview guy I've ever seen. He's like, it's not even like he's attending anything that's exciting.
It's the Aussie accent.
Oh my God, he is so dull in his interviews.
So Scott,
really good.
Scott in my mind needs to keep going. Oosthuizen can keep going, although I think he could afford to sit if you want to get someone else in there. But I'd keep him going, and then Answer has to keep going too. So those are 3 guys you might see play all 5 matches. They're key to the international team right now. Abraham Answer is putting out of his mind.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't hit very far, but he is putting out of his mind, and he is really, really confident. In all these formats, putting's amazing. I mean, in the alternate shot, he made at least 3 from 15 to 30 feet. That's huge. They made 6 birdies in alternate shot, him and Leishman, which is phenomenal. And in the 4-ball, obviously, anytime you have a good putter in a 4-ball too, and a guy's just going to hit fairways and greens, like he said, he's just playing simple. Obviously opens up for a partner for him. So these guys say, Hong Tong Lee's going to play today at some point. We don't know when that'll be. It'd be interesting.
He's got to get in for sure.
In his first match, that'll be something. Cameron Smith has to keep on playing. The other Aussie, he putted amazing. Unfortunately, did not get the win. Ended up in a tie for him, but he did putt awesomely early on. I think he could easily play again. and we'll just see going forward what happens there. I think that was a decent team that just got caught by a hot Ricky Fowler and Woodland all of a sudden with 5 birdies in the last 4 holes. 4 birdies in the last 5 holes. So, that's just kind of
and that's why Fowler's got to play. That's what Fowler can do. I mean, he goes low. He can put birdies together. We know a lot of events that he's played in that, his wins have come from like a lot of birdies right at the end of it. All of a sudden he can put them together and he's in less pressure, I think, when he's behind, funny enough. But I would say that, without a doubt, they've got to look at Fowler playing, even though he sat the first set of matches. He's been playing great. But on the international side, do want to look at one that I thought was a loss for them, was Cantlay and Shoffley coming back and winning that winning that match. The international team actually led 6 holes compared to 3 to the U.S. and actually lost that match. And Hadwin missed a putt late in the
Hadwin missed 2 or 3 putts really to take the lead. He did not putt well on the back 9, and that's kind of why he's on this team actually, is to putt. Really, I remember in an interview someone said, he was picked just to putt, so he didn't putt well, unfortunately. Walking Neiman and him did play pretty well overall. That was definitely a tough loss there. Shoffley and Cantlay have not played great. They played good, they have not played great.
Well, they had just a rush at the end to come back in a match.
It wasn't really a rush, though, because they weren't down more than by 1 hole.
Yeah.
They
for a long time they were down.
Yeah, but it wasn't a rush. Like, they still haven't really found their spark. I mean, they came up in the clutch, obviously, on 18. Shoffley hit a bullet right over the flag. Cantlay with the putt. But they were guys that got fortunate breaks from Hadwin and Neiman not taking advantage. Then they made some birdies of their own to stay in it, and then made the only birdie that mattered, which was when the game was tied on 18. They made it.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if they play again. I think Woods should put them out again. I think they might find their stride here. They got to be pumped after yesterday. They are your young guys, but they have not played their best. So for the internationals, you got to be worried about when Patrick Cantlay and Shoffley figure out. One point, Shoffley figured it out because he missed some short putts there. He's hit the ball amazing, but missed some short putts. So when he figures it out, that team could be very deadly. So it'll be interesting to see if they get to put together again. Woods did not change. He only changed 2 out of the 5 pairings he had from the first session. So it'll be interesting to see how much shakeup he does here, and obviously how much he plays. Els has changed everything from round 1 to round 2. If he changed everything again, it'll be interesting. I have a feeling it'll be exact same lineup as he put out in the winning day. I think you have to. Yeah. Besides the match against Tiger and Thomas, which was Leishman and Neiman, I don't think you'll see that. But I think other than that, you will see pretty much the exact same lineup going out there as the day 1, which was so successful. And then I think you might see Mark Leishman play with Hong Tong Lee, who are both big guys that can hit it far. They might go up against Woods and Thomas. I know Leishman has asked to play Woods. He loves playing Woods in his hometown of Australia. To get a win against him would be monumental for him. So that's what you might see, the only shakeup from the first session for the internationals, because everything else, I imagine, has to be the same.
You're going to go 4-1, you don't want to change it.
Has to be.
So we're going to see what happens today. Again, really exciting day here Saturday, 36 holes. Going to be great to watch again in prime time, which we're loving.
Keep you up
the matches,
pretty late.
But it's going to be later, even finishing off tonight. So enjoy the matches. There we are. Prediction, Joy. What are you thinking?
Well, for 36 holes, very difficult, and I am making a mistake here. I realized they actually only do four matches. There's actually 4 people sitting out. I don't know why. I just saw it on here. So that does change kind of some of the stuff I said. But it definitely means the 4 pairs that won on the first session in this format will be out there. I think it's 2-1-1 for internationals early on, and I think they're going to get romped in the second session by the state. They might even only tie the first session. I have a feeling this will be tied going in. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know exactly how the session play out. It's going to be tied going into singles. I don't think you're going to see the internationals extend their lead very much. If anything, I'd be worried about the Americans having a half-point lead or something, maybe near the end. But it's going to be within a half point of these guys are tied. I think there's a good, strong possibility of that. I think the internationals hang in their first session. Second session, I think, will be difficult. But you never know. I mean, definitely the momentum, unfortunately, for the international side went to the Americans, and really it shouldn't be when you're winning 6.5 to 3.
Well, no doubt about that. I think I agree with you. I think the jet lag is continually getting out of the U.S. team. I think Tiger Thomas was everything.
Everything. That putt was
so huge. Pumped up. You got the captain out there winning again. You got the captain out there, with all the momentum. You've got him out there. They're fist pumping. They're big hug, big chest bump at the end. I think that may have changed. We know sports is all about momentum, so it's funny to be in the lead by 3, but feel like the momentum has actually gone to the Americans. I agree with you. I think we're going to be real close. It's going to set up for a very exciting Sunday. I think exactly the same, that the Americans could actually be in the lead or tied at the end of the day. I think they are going to play their type of golf. I think that, again, they're going to be more fresh. They've gone through the jet lag, all those kinds of things. We'll see what's going to happen there. But I think this is going to be an American day.
Well, a couple of things. Unfortunately, if it was the other way around, Americans wouldn't be worried about the little men in international cups. But when you haven't won a lot, the internationals have to be somewhat worried when they get those last 2 points. On top of that, by day 3, they know the course a little bit better. That's one of the advantages of the internationals is the Americans look lost in some of these holes. So everything's going against the internationals right now. First of all, you have a lead, which you've never really had. The Americans got 2 late points to put them in it. Tiger, who is the captain, and Tiger Woods, just because he's Tiger Woods, is winning and motivating this team. Thomas got rolling. Other guys got rolling. They're getting used to the greens. They're getting used to the golf course. And as you said, the most important thing maybe of this whole Presidents Cup, win or lose, will be the talk of jet lag. So, unfortunately, it's weird to be up 6.5, 3.5, because you'd take that if you were told that earlier in the week by the internationals. If you're smart, you ignore it. But if you're the Americans, you're having this conversation exactly with your team right now that everything actually is in your favor, on your way to probably a great Sunday finish, which is all you could ask for out of this event. So I think regardless of what happens today, it will still be close, which is good news. You'll have a great Sunday, which is good news. But I do think, unfortunately for the internationals, I think you're going to see a huge charge by the Americans on Saturday. I think you got to be watching that, and it will be deadly. I think, like you said, they may even be in the lead by half point or a point, but it will be within a point for sure. I think whoever's in the lead going into Sunday.
Well, it is hard with only 8 matches going on to swing a 3-shot lead. They're going to have
That's true.
They're going to have to win 6-2. They're going to have to, or 5.5 to 2.5. They're going to have that kind of win. That's a big day. So we'll see what happens there.
Well, that's what makes Sunday so great, though.
Right.
That's why you have to have the lead, right? I mean, regardless of what does happen today, if I'm Ernie Els, I'm telling my guys, relax. Even if we throw a complete stinker, we're going to be tied going into Sunday, and how many people would have thought that? Would we have
You're
taken
not going to
that?
lose 8 matches in a row.
Right. So I think that's the mess on the international side. Obviously, the message on the U.S. side is what I just said. But the message on the international side has to be relaxed. It doesn't matter how bad we play. We're going to be in it going in the final day, which is all you can really ask for. So you're right. It'll be interesting, but I do think it will be maybe within half a point or a point either way. Probably more on the international side being up half a point or a point, or maybe tied. But it's just going to be really, really close to my point. There's no runaway anymore.
Yeah.
Those last 2 matches flipping were huge to this event.
Well, this wouldn't have been an event if they didn't flip those.
Exactly.
So it would have been
basically
gone.
all we can say, which is not very smart, is there's no blowout. Everyone can say that. There's not going to be a blowout anymore. I mean, it's going to be a fun, tight match, which is all you can ask for. Again, I mean, this event needs storylines. They needed this. They needed a big lead by their nationals. They needed a comeback by the States.
Right.
They needed Tiger to play well. They needed a Saturday that's going to matter, and now they're going to get a Sunday that's going to matter. Regardless of who you cheer for, if you're a fan of golf, you're a fan of event continuing, proud of all these guys representing their country, you're going to get a great event and great headlines, which is going to be huge for viewership and for the competitiveness of these players. You're going to see the emotion, which I think is more important. I know a lot of people question, or you've questioned, I've questioned, do Americans care?
Yeah.
Well, after I saw that reaction from Thomas, the reaction from Patrick Cantlay, the reaction from Woods, they care.
Well, without a doubt. I think this team needs to be a little embarrassed. I mean, he is the greatest golfer of all time. There's no doubt about it. Well, 1 of 2, let's say. But for him to be leading the team, this has got a spark on the younger guys saying, how can we not perform when Tiger Woods is out there with everything that's gone through him at 43 years old and he's leading this team? I think that's got to inspire the Americans as well. So there you go. We're looking forward to a great Saturday of golf, 36 holes, which will be really exciting. And we'll be back tomorrow morning to line up the singles matches, which will undoubtedly take this to the final. We think it's going to be close enough that it's all going to be about the single matches. We won't have to see a 4-point comeback in the singles tomorrow. I think it's going to be really close. So enjoy that. We'll be back tomorrow morning to look at the singles, and bar anything, it should be a great weekend of golf.
Yes.
My glass was so shiny. Is that light behind?